Okay guys, it's almost Christmas time, and what better way to spend this time than to do some drugs with Seth Rogen.
Don't you dare throw up in here. Swallow it like a girl would.
I need a barf bag.
Barf bag. Is it still happening?
It's still happening a little, yeah.
We did not kill Jesus! We did not do that!
Before directed by Jonathan Levine, and it stars Anthony Mackie, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and Seth Rogen. The Night Before is about these three friends, one of which is Joseph Gordon-Levitt's character. In his character, he's an orphan and his parents had passed away one Christmas, and he's left with, no one to spend Christmas time with. So his buddies Seth Rogen and Anthony Mackie come over one Christmas and try to cheer him up. And they try to go out and just do a bunch of stupid stuff to get his mind off of the death of his parents. And it sparks this 14-year-long tradition that they keep doing every single year, where they go out during Christmas time and get drunk and just do a bunch of dumb stuff. And it's gotten to the point where Seth Rogen and Anthony Mackie are off doing their own things. Anthony Mackie's he's an athlete, and Seth Rogen he's about to be a father, and they don't want to keep doing this tradition when they both have their own things, but they're concerned because they're just leaving Joseph Gordon-Levitt on Christmas by himself, so it kind of causes this conflict. Now, this isn't the first time we've seen Jonathan Levine with Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Seth Rogen. They did a very darkly funny movie called 50-50, which if you haven't seen, I strongly recommend. Something I think worked really well for this movie is that it had a lot of heart. And it wasn't just a bunch of stupid jokes with Seth Rogen being Seth Rogen, but it actually taught a good lesson and had really strong themes like friendship, and that your friends are what is really important in life, and you need to stick with your friends in order to be happy. And this movie wouldn't work if Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Anthony Mackie, and Seth Rogen didn't work together and didn't have chemistry, but they really surprised me, and they all had great chemistry, and I really felt like they were all friends. It's almost kind of a joke to say that Joseph Gordon-Levitt is good in this movie, because he's good in almost every single movie he's in. This kid is a superstar, and I cannot wait to see what he does in the future. And I've never really seen Anthony Mackie in a comedy before, because I've only seen him in the Avengers movies and in We Are Marshall. So I was kind of nervous going into this because I didn't know how funny he was, but he is really, really, really funny. He kind of reminds me of Will Smith in the way he kind of talks, and his kind of humor, like a young Will Smith, like in the first Men in Black movie. I can't wait to see where his career goes from here, because in the Avengers movie, he doesn't have a very big role, so I want him to kind of break out and start doing his own things, because judging from this and his previous works, I really like him. Seth Rogen is just Seth Rogen in this movie. His role is to be this soon-to-be dad who his wife gives him these drugs, and she's like, "Here, honey, here are these drugs, go have a fun time, go hang out with your friends." And he ends up having a bad trip, and he's just bumbling around, being kind of crazy. I'm sure you've seen it in the trailer. And that's something that kind of bugged me about this movie, is not the movie itself, but the trailer kind of spoiled some of the funny parts in this movie, which I really felt like would have delivered. And that's not to say that this movie isn't funny. This movie had me laughing consistently throughout the whole thing, even though the trailer still ruined some of the funniest parts. This movie had some really good cameos, and it had some people that I really wasn't expecting that would be in this movie, and they all were great. One person in particular, I really had no idea he was going to be in this movie, and he's a pretty big role, but he does a great job. I don't want to spoil it for you in case you want to go see this movie, and I would like you to have the surprise that I had. This movie has a lot of heart. It's really funny. It really got me into the Christmas spirit, if you cannot tell. The cast is great. I can't wait to see what this director does next, because his movies are really, really good so far. So I'm going to give The Night Before an 8 out of 10. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, you can click on the link down below and subscribe to my channel to see more movie reviews and movie-related things. Again, guys, thanks so much for watching, and see you next time.